live in a few. We ask that everyone please mute your phones. And let me give you guys permission to change your name. Amanda, see if you're able to allow the participants to change their name. I'm on my iPad, so my settings are
I guess
a little weird. You have to do it on the participants.
Okay, let me see.
If you're on a computer.
Yes, I think I did it now. So everyone should be able to. Someone just joined. Who was it? Karen Suarez.
Era yo. Déjame ver, yo lo hago ahora. I'm sorry. Muchísimas gracias.
De nada, de nada.
Oh, ahí está, sí se ve ahora. Perfecto.
Angie, let me know when we're live.
We are.
Oh wow. Hello everyone, hi. Okay, we're still here, we're still in the Zoom era, you know, but we're trying, right? We're reintegrating little by little. My name is Amanda Alcantara, aka Amanda La Quemanda, aka Amandita, aka Ama, and I am super excited to be here. I go by she, her. Tonight we are hosting a bilingual open mic featuring a performance later by Glorelys Mora, a comedian who I really love. She's like hilarious. And I'm super excited to be here. I feel like, you know, for me, these Zoom meetings and these open mics, they really just show how the community is still trying to move on, even though we're still in these times, right? And you know, and I think because I know in New York City is cold, right? I know in the States it's cold right now, so I think we can appreciate that. We can be home, right? Con cafecito. I have water here, even though, you know, I try to be classy and poured it in this thing. I wanted to say thank you so much to Dominican Writers who invited me tonight and who is hosting this event. And thank you so much to all of the writers who signed up. So today we have about 20 writers who are going to be reading their work for us. This is really just an opportunity for new writers to showcase their work and for seasoned writers to be like, hey, this is what I do, this is who I am. So please give them love, follow all the writers here on social media. Let us know what you're thinking on the YouTube comments. In the chat, right, in the Zoom group, let's support each other, poets. So if you like something, you can post it in the chat and I'll be shouting it out for the audience to know like what the other poets are thinking about each other. And yeah, I just really want to commend you for your bravery tonight, for being here to share your work with all of us. Please know we are only sharing one poem per round so that everyone can get a go. And your poem should be about 3 minutes, all right? Yeah, and that's all the announcements I have. So I wanted to start myself today because I know going first can be a little scary. And also going first is kind of annoying because, you know, the audience is still like trickling in and you're like, I'm going first and now people are not gonna hear this banging ass poem. So I'm gonna start us off. And then the first poet that's gonna go up is Diana Alejandrina. So on deck, right? Not yet, on deck is Diana Alejandrina. So Diana, start preparing yourself. Again, my name is Amanda Alcantara, and this is my poem. Oh yes, there was something that I wanted to remember. Because clapping is like weird, let's do jazz fingers, right? And that way you can like send, that energy. Just pretend that that energy is like filling up, the writer, right? So let's do jazz fingers. If you're home, you can get loud, right? As long as you're muted and as long as you're on YouTube, we're not gonna hear you. Pero please, jazz fingers. And again, just leaving your comments to let people know, especially because we can't hear the snapping right now like you would in an audience. So let's try to adapt and do it in this way. Okay, so this poem is called For the Women Who Are Silent About Their Abuse. I know what it's like to have the pain of what happened grip you tight, like a leather belt with its edges worn out. And once unbuckled, there's nothing to hold you, so you unravel and feel like water, constantly falling. And you build a deep well for your pain and cope by adorning it with gold edges and rose petals, and whispering tenderly into it, and comforting it by saying, I'm strong because I survived this, and carrying it within the depths of your soul, and letting it become an endless source of empathy. My wish for you is that you always find your way to the sea with its endless darkness, holding all of the world's deepest secrets, and release. Okay, thank you. That was my poem. So I hope tonight is a night when we can release together, when we can hold each other down, and also when we can have fun. Right? Spoken word, it's fun, it's cool. So let's get it. So on deck, not yet, on deck, start preparing is Maciel Alfonso. But right now, let's give it up and send some jazz fingers to Diana Alejandrina.
Hi, everybody. How could you not? I had a feeling I was going first. And at first I was like, I have a feeling she's going to call my name. She's going to call my name. And boom, she called my name. But I'm really happy to be here with you all. Some of you I know, some of you I haven't met. So I really look forward to hearing your poem. My name is Diana Alejandrina. I'm a Dominican poet, writer, spoken word artist. I just published my first book, and it's called Agridulce. It's a poetry and prose book. Really proud of it. You guys can check it out on my page. I'll drop my Instagram. And today I'm going to be reading a poem that is my first time performing. So I'm really excited about it. It's a sweet one. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And it's called The First Time I Said I Love You. Tomorrow is never promised, she whispered, as Himalayan salt tears kissed her puffy cheeks. Her body trembled, goosebumps covered her melanin skin. She took a deep breath, absorbing the energy from the atmosphere that suddenly became tense. You're finally ready, said her heart. So she swallowed her pride one last time, welcoming vulnerability into her life. I love you, she said, but please hear me out before you decide if you will stay. This is no simple I love you like the ones whispered from unfeeling lips. For these were lips with lies, filled with spaces, hearts that never knew true love. My I love you is like the water seeds need to grow. It gives hope and life to the places you thought were meant to stay cold. My I love you is unique, for there is no one else like me. I am willing to say I love you until the air in my lungs leaves. Now, do you love me? Thank you.
Yes, yes. Woo. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for your vulnerability, Diana. I really, really appreciate that. And please know we're gonna have another round. So if you want to share another second poem, start getting that ready. So on deck, not yet. On deck, we have Ruth Cáceres. But right now, let's please give it up for Maciel Alfonso.
Hello, everyone. How are you? My name is Maciel Alfonso. I am also a poet and spoken word artist who also recently published her book, a handful of poems. You can follow me on social media. It's on my name. I go by she, her. And today I will be sharing a piece that will soon be published in La Libreta. So I am very excited. This is my second time performing this piece. So thank you for the space. Sucia. I dream of a place where I can lay in the grass, in the pouring rain, watch it rain heavy on me. I want grass stains on my jeans and dirt on my shoes, worn out, sucia. Dirty like what we thought was clean and what we thought full was broken. Dirty like dragging your body, spirit, and mind through 25 years of nothingness. You don't feel a thing. You look for your happiest memories, but it is all a fog. Life is a blur. Dirty like the attic you store all your baggage in. Dirty like the memories you don't wish to relive. Dirty, sucia, like the cameras you took pictures in black and white. Sucia, sucia like the girl mom says you are. Sucia like the guilt she makes it so hard to swallow, like a pill that can't fit in its bottle. Sucia like the name she calls you. Sucia like the ungrateful child she says you are. Sucia like a blur. Sucia like yelling, but no one choosing to hear. Sucia like the grass stain on your jeans, the rain on your pants. Sucia like you've been running in those shoes for 25 years. Thank you.
Oof, oof, sucia, like you've been running in your shoes for 25 years. Maciel, thank you so much. I just want to read some of the comments. I missed some of the early ones from Diana, but I wanted to read some. Snaps in Spanish, amazing, dope, fire. Your voice inflections are everything. Yeah, and just a lot of props. So thank you so much. Up next, not yet, but up next we have Paola Céspedes. But right now, let's give it up for Ruth Cáceres.
Hi guys. I just want to preface by saying that I am a short story fiction writer. So what I prepare for today is like the start of a fictional short story. There's some autobiographical elements in it, of course, but just so you know, it's not necessarily a poem. I'm just going to read like the first 2 paragraphs of it, maybe 3, so I can keep it within the 3 minutes if that's okay. Okay. I don't remember not speaking English. I don't remember not knowing how to read it either, but in both cases, I know that there was a time from before all this slippery little word slid into me and together sounded like whom I was meant to be. And now I can't even dream in Spanish. If I must, I violently crash into every word, uncomfortably aware of the way that my accent gives me away, the way I played in callejones, the tone of my voice that changes from a Barbie in English to the deep beat of a drum in Spanish that I say "Sion mami" in private life every day, that I point with my lips, that I tan, I don't burn, that I tried to forget that I was smuggled into this unknown place when I was 5 years old, that no one asked me if that is what I wanted to do, about how a little moment still hurts, still. Like when I turned around that day after I walked past the gates, pulling my little brother by the hand, calling him by his fake name, Enrique, vámonos ya, just like we practiced. And I had to see my family waving at us, my first heartbreak. It was their broken faces waving, trying hard not to crumble and turn into sand as they stood there waving. A part of me ran back to them, not because it was scared or sad to leave, but because it never wanted to see their faces look like that ever again. That part of me left a rock in its place as I ran back through those gates and took them home, and it never looked back. I left home that day and I forgot how to speak, but what is trauma to a little immigrant kid? Yes, thank you for the opportunity to forget my first language and never dream in it again. There's a lot more, but
Oof, Ruth, maybe you can do like another paragraph or two in the second round, because that sounds really good. Thank you so much.
thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear the full story. I just want to give a shout out to everyone who's performing, who has published a book. Shout out to y'all. I love seeing that. I'm also a self-published, independent published author, and I just really believe in doing what we can to put our voices out there. And I also want to thank Ruth for reading for us. So just a reminder that tonight we're not only doing poetry, right? I feel like because I'm a poet, I kind of came with that framework, but please, a reminder, we're not only doing poetry, we're also, we're able to read short stories, thoughts, we're doing comedy, singing, basically just like bilingual love from all directions. A friendly reminder, when you're done performing, mute yourself, please. And then, yeah, so let's keep it moving. So up next, on deck, not yet, but on deck, we have Rosalind Damiana. So Rosalind, please start preparing. But right now, please give it up for Paola Cespedes.
Hey y'all, how is everyone doing? Please bear with me. I have not performed in a really long time, but this is a prose poem that I am working on, and I've been working on for a minute, so this is a little dusty, but it's called A Spell Formed Against the Woman. First, I will tell you how to survive. You must always be in control of your mind and your actions. Never lose control or composure over yourself, for it will make you more vulnerable to your opponent. Remain loud enough to be acknowledged, but small enough to fit into tiny crevices. Remember to never let them know who you really are, but control their perception of you. Next, here's how to navigate around your pain so you're never really swallowed by it. There might be times where you want to throw yourself directly into the looming black hole of pain, but you must never surrender. Stay focused on the task at hand, avoidance. You will tippy-toe around the depths of lingering shadows and never call upon the Google. You may even partake in libations and substances in order to regain your grip, showing the white in your knuckles. Then you will give into the lies you've told your whole life. You will begin to turn their judgments into truths about you and go down a long and winding road of self-hatred. You will remain in the darkness of the forest and refuse to let the light of the stars guide you back home. Thank you.
Thank you. And refuse to let the light of the stars guide you back home. How many times have we been there, right? Thank you so much, Paola. So on deck, not yet on deck, we have Nico Diaz. But right now, let's please give it up for Rosalind Damiana.
Okay. Buenas noches. I am Rosalind Damiana. I'm going to perform 3 pieces today. I'm very motivated by a child that is in this song called Glorelys Urbano. She helped me find my strength in sharing my work. I've been writing since I lived in San Pedro. This is my first poem that I actually wrote as an adult woman. I think the person, a mí se me van los nombres, somebody just shared about somebody takes your goals as an immigrant child or something like that, and it's in alignment with what I'm reading, because my experience, it's a lot like a lot of the ones of the people's here. So I have a lot of issues with imposter syndrome, right? And I'm a hell of an educator. I do a lot of things in the community, but when it comes to my art, I'm a little nervous. So stick with me. I feel in a safe space. The poem is called How Do You Defeat a Monster? By Rosalind Damiana. So I'm going to start. How do you defeat a monster? El monstruo que te llama en las noches, que te jode en las mañanas, que te hace olvidar de tus metas con sus garras largas. ¿Cómo vences a un monstruo that keeps you up at night, that always fights back, that won't let you breathe, that won't let you reach the finish line? How do you vencer a un monstruo que desde tu childhood has been with you, has been weighing you down, has been hurting you? Now you're an adult and you're wondering, why did you allow him to live for so long? Now you realize that you gave him power. Fuiste tú que le diste power de crecer y crecer y crecer hasta que te comenzó a sofocar. Te alejó de los tuyos, te mató varios sueños, te hizo inmaduro, te impidió crecer. How did you defeat that monster? Did you beat his ass? These days, I see you living more, and I see you full of life. I see you crushing every goal that you have set on your mind. I see you in full control of your life, looking fine as fuck, looking strong as fuck, looking whole as fuck. I believe that monster will not longer fuck with you. And that's all. That's me.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yo, shout out to inspiring each other to perform, to do this. I just wanted to read some of the comments here. Thank you so much, Rosalind. I wanted to read some of the comments. So first of all, Moreli Surano, who's also performing, who you gave a shout out to. She says, love you and miss you a lot. We have, girl, we with you to uplift you. Fuiste tú que le dio power. Somebody's asking, did you beat his ass?
I beat his ass.
Yes, that's right. You beat his ass. That's how you defeat un monstruo. Thank you so much, Rosalind. So on deck, not yet, but on deck, Patricia Figueroa, please start preparing yourself. But right now, let's please give it up for Nico Diaz.
Applause. Good evening, everybody. How y'all feeling? It is a cold ass Friday night in the Bronx. I don't know about y'all. Not feeling this. I gotta call the landlord. The heat is not on. It's not a vibe. Love to see so many beautiful curly-haired goddesses and gods in the room. It is very awesome to be in this space. And I just finished this poem literally 2 seconds ago, and it is about my relationship with bilingualism. So without further ado, the title of this piece is Bye Guys. Bye guys. Though Spanish feels foreign in my tongue, in my mouth, I make up for it by filling it with men who are bilingual. Speaking in 2 tongues, so every time we kiss, it's like I'm having a threesome. I like being kept on my toes, that toxic shit. So fucking men who speak English and Spanish is like fucking Jekyll and Hyde, a Gemini. Bruce Banner and the Incredible Hulk, smash my ass. Give me love in both languages. Teach me to moan with the passion of Spanish, the directness of English. Make me bi. Thank you. You can follow me at Iconic on, or I know that's my old one, Iconico on Instagram. But yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you, Nico. Thank you. Yes, we have a couple people shouting you out as a Gemini. Diana says Nico always bringing the heat. Karencita says
I'm a Sagittarius, but yeah, I'm a Gemini. But yeah, I love
okay, my bad. Somebody was saying, wow, I wasn't ready, fuego. And yeah, I'm also checking out some of the comments on the YouTube, and it's a lot of clapping. Somebody said, loving the passion and vulnerability in all these pieces. So thank you everyone so much for continuing to open up tonight. So on deck, not yet, but on deck, Max Garcia, please start preparing your piece, your art. But right now, let's please give it up for let's please give it up for Patricia Figueroa.
Hello, beautiful people. Like she said, I'm Patricia Figueroa, Dominican American here, born in New York. So I represent that bilingual lifestyle, that Spanglish, double life that we live. Like Ruth was saying, I totally understand that dichotomy, En la casa uno habla el español y come plátano y de todo, y allá afuera somos gringos y hablamos con nuestro flow americano. So I feel you, girl. This one is called Landed, and I don't know about you guys, but I've been through an emotional mental health roller coaster these last couple of years with everything that has happened. Y yo pasé una depresión bien grande, in 2020. And this is like me thinking back, and I wrote that thinking back on how I was feeling during that time. And I just want to thank God, honestly, for seeing myself on the other side. And if you are finding yourself resonating with what I'm saying here, just know that it's going to get better. And yeah, so just remember that. Landed. The depths of somber. Thoughts, pensamientos singing that I can't no longer. Shadows casted. Mira lo que hallaste. Look what you found. Residues of traumas. Who would want to know? Lágrimas y océanos de lluvia, waterfalls cascading over her, drowning the mustard seed. As I please, Señor, I need thee. Raisins are arid, bare, killing with anxieties. Actually, no puedo más. This world has nothing I need. Si es que viene, pero ven por mí. First time I flew on a plane and didn't ask you to protect me. First time mis palmas no danzaban when I landed. Didn't close my eyes pidiendo for safety, because in your arms is where I'd rather be. At least that's what I thought. Delta has never been that low. Sitting on seat 37C, underneath hopeless cargoes of broken souls sin fuerzas de seguir, saying this isn't it for me. Forgetting the beauty in rituals, like clapping when I landed. Thank you.
Wow, Patricia. Thank you so much for seeing that. Wow. Well, I started singing that, and I meant saying, like in my head, it felt, I guess, like singing. Thank you so much. I just want to read some of these comments. Alba Marina is saying goosebumps. Que belleza, wow. Cries in Spanish. And then someone says that resonated so much. And then someone's asking for your social media. So what's your social media handle, Patricia?
I'm gonna put it. I send it as a direct message. I'm sorry, guys, to everyone.
It's cool. All right. So then, while you do that, on deck, not yet. On deck, we have Gina Goico. But right now, let's please give it up for Max Garcia.
What's good, yo? Yo, Patricia got me tearing up right before I go. All right. So my name is Max Garcia. aka Solomon Wines, aka La Molotuvila, etc. So we got a couple titles. Let's go on. So I'm a writer, rapper, director, actor from New York City. And I'm gonna do some unreleased stuff for y'all real quick because like I'm dropping this EP with the show that we're gonna be dropping later on. So, and I just really want to share that with y'all right quick. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Okay. Shorty acting up on Broadway, but she never seen the show. But she been playing like Cordelia, ain't budging off her flow. I've been talking about potential. She say left it at the door. I said, what that even mean though? She been the story. It's an attitude big, man. Baby, where you been, girl? It's like I never see you lately. Maybe we can get together for a while. I say some things to make you smile, baby. You wavy like the now. Yeah, that was corny, but it made you smile though. I know you digging on this vibe, on this super high flow. Who says that? Someone that's super high, but not on weed, but on this feeling that you give me when you sitting next to me. I think that you're my new addiction. Talking with a job on bacons, we could watch an Ocho on your busted television. Watch some classic 90s movies that you pick. I'm not that juicy. Maybe if I'm lucky, then I might just get some Justice just like Tupac in the milk truck. God, I hope you got that reference because that shit was straight poetic. Justice on the sofa, girl. I love to kiss you if you let me. I'm so busy. Give me a second, bro. Someone just woke in. I never been one to go waste time. Possibility balls on the baseline, feeling the electric like radon, pero la treasure on baseline. I feel imagine no tengo vergüenza. Que more como el César. You know I'm the realest type of me, bro. No, it's not just VSO, me logo. No se metan en eso. The Jordan shit also runway model, rebel, road up in zone one. Love this summer's day. Let the boss say think I'm master, sell a Vaughn. I'm with Holloway.
De que vamos a dejarlo ahí to not set this whole thing on fire, right? Thank you, Max. Thank you so much. I'm gonna read some of the comments. I really like your line, right? No tengo vergüenza. People are talking about your flow. It's the flow for me. Okay, yes, the flow. A lot of yeses, and yeah, thank you so much. Please please leave your ads in the chats. I'm gonna be reading them at the end of the night tonight. So please leave your ads in the chat. Thank you so much, Max. So on deck, not yet, but on deck, we have Christopher Grullon. But right now, let's please give it up for Gina Goico.
Hey y'all, shit. Okay, this is difficult act to come after, pero está bien, vamos para el mambo. Gina Goico, I use she, they, ella, I do poetry, like, I don't know, I write poetry, but I'm a multidisciplinary artist, mostly visual art. And yeah, so I've been working on some poetry over this past 2 months, and I'm gonna try them here. So let's see what happens. Just some trigger warning, I'm gonna discuss fat phobia and trauma on this poetry. So wanted to lay that out. Okay. Resilience, my ass. I hate that I have to tie my weight gain to the trauma I endured as to prove my worth just because my fat is a different kind of fat. As to say, I am an exception, I am more worthy than other fat bodies because my value lies on, I wanted to say, to scream, that thin body betrayed me. Yet that body was the one that sustained me, created this fuller one to sustain me through pain and sufrimiento. My body is a wonder. No, fuck out. Fuck it. All bodies are a wonder. Fuck the idea that resilience is a gift, as if resilience is not the only way we can exist in this nightmare, this torture, this bullshit that we are supposed to endure in order to be worthy of existence, of breathing. I just hate that I have to tie my weight gain to the trauma I endured. Tell papi, tú prefieres que esté muerta o que ande gorda. Tell the husband that I just need to be, as if being with this raja is the only way that he can see my pain, as if my roles are unable to be loved, to be felt. I hate that I have to think I am an exception because my value and identity has been tied to a thinner body, a body that was often abused and malnourished, that society believes I rather have been dead than fat, that my mother celebrated when she saw that even with a 12-inch open wound and a back attached, taking oxy and like cuchumil painkillers, that I was thin at the beginning, pero por lo menos no engordate, I heard as an echo, while I slipped in and out of consciousness. A la mierda todo el mundo, our bodies are a fucking wonder. Your existence does not have to equal fucking pain for you to be worthy. With all this bullshit we have to endure, resilience my ass. Thank you.
Woo, woo, Gina, resilience my ass, ya lo sabe. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. Somebody just hashtag that, resilience my ass. Fire, wow, Gina, you did that. As a fat man, fuck this. Oh, say it, a la mierda. Thank you, Gina. You got us a little pumped up here. Thanks so much. So on deck, not yet, but on deck, please begin preparing yourself, Ednin Martinez. But right now, let's please give it up for Christopher Grullon.
Can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so my name is Chris Grullon. I am originally from Queens, New York. I live here in Texas, San Antonio. And I heard this and I thought this was a comedy open mic and everything was beautiful, but that's not what I do and I apologize for that. But I want to let you know that we are representing out here. It's beautiful. Glorelys. I don't know if you're in the crowd yet, but she's a beautiful representation. I wear the hat wherever I go, any stage I hit. But I'm originally from Queens, New York. I live here in Texas, and it's a little different down here. I got 2 kids, and I know what you're thinking. As a Dominican, 2 kids, you're lying. It's not true. No, there are some that I haven't claimed yet. That's all. No, I have a 2-year-old and an 11-year-old. Right. My 11-year-old, he likes to Google everything. And the other day, I found in his chat, in his search, what's the proper salary for house chores? That's how I know I'm raising him to be too privileged. I'm just glad he's not looking at my search history, because the last thing he'll find is how much Benadryl can I give these kids without killing them. Right. Now the 2-year-old, I think was a cartel member in her previous life. She likes to walk around the house shirtless with washable marker tattoos. And the other day she came out with one with a teardrop. And I don't know what Barbie got it. I didn't ask any questions. But we were eating dinner, my son and I, and she walked in and stared at my son. And my son got up and moved. Didn't say a word. I was confused. I didn't say anything though because I didn't want her to make me move. Crazy part was she said, agua, pendejo. And there goes my son getting her water. No one has taught that kid Spanish. That's crazy. My son came home the other day. He was selling candy. He said, Dad, I got this idea. I'm going to take a bag of the candy and I'm going to split it into Ziplocs and I'm going to give them away as free samples. And once I get the kids hooked, I'm going to double the price on the bag. And he said, do you think that'll work? And I said, it worked in the 80s, right? But I'm like, yo, who taught you this? And here comes the 2-year-old. No sé. All right, that's my time. Thank you.
No! Chris, oh my God, yo. Thank you. Shout out to the cap. It takes a special kind of vulnerability to do it without like the feedback from the crowd. So I want to say shout out to you for doing this in a Zoom call. The chat right now, everybody's like LMAO.
Listen,
really good.
I was very hesitant to do the Zoom shows because I've done some where it went so bad I thought my Wi-Fi cut out. And like no one was saying a word. It was terrible. So I was glad that you guys at least heard me. So that was good.
Yes, we heard you. We heard you.
Okay, good.
You're muted, Amanda.
Thank you, Gina. No, I said some people are quoting some of what stood out. For me, the Barbie joke stood out. Somebody said, "How much Benadryl can I give these kids without killing them?" And yeah, in the chat on YouTube, it's just like a lot of, you can't see it, but it's just a lot of like smiley faces. Did my homegirl go? Somebody's asking. Ayo, that made me laugh. So, shout out to you. Thank you. Thank you so much for bringing your art and your creativity tonight. Whew. Okay. Let me come back. All right. So on deck, not yet, on deck, we have Jennifer Mesquita. Oh my God, Jennifer, I love how your name is pronounced right, reminding me of The Witcher. But up next, we have Jennifer Mesquita. But right now, so please prepare your poem. But right now, let's please give it up for Ednine Martinez.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ednine Martinez. It's hard to follow that act. That was really funny. I was cracking up, but this is a little more serious, so it's a little switch. I just did a TED Talk on my experiences with systemic racism and colorism as an Afro-Latina lawyer and student. And I'll put my handle later so that you guys can check it out if you have time. Now I'll be reading from a nonfiction essay that was published in Harvard's Palabritas last summer. It's Harvard's Latinx literary magazine. So I'll just read a excerpt from my essay. Okay. It's called When I Was Brave. Mami chula, morena, te voy a agarrar ese culo y te voy a meter el dedo para allá adentro, a que te gusta que te lo metan así. While he intricately described how he would put his fingers inside me, the door opened wide enough for me to squirm out. I stepped into a cloud of bleach in the hospital-like sterile hallway. The fumes and halogen lights closed in on me. I was dizzy. My legs felt heavy, but I managed to move forward. My heart drummed loudly in my chest as I sped up the pace. Out of breath, I reached the outside of the county jail and inhaled crisp winter air until my lungs were full. My eyes welled up with tears that stung as I sobbed violently. I had convinced myself that these were just snippets of this life, my life. At first, being a public defender was honorable, fulfilling work. I was protecting constitutional rights, making a difference. But what I didn't know was that there would come a point I'd have to front like I was enjoying my job while it wreaked havoc on my soul. But I continued pretending to be the savior while in desperate need of saving. My colleagues and clients were mostly male. I felt disposable in that world. Let's keep it real. As a public defender, if a client got a hold of a few $1,000s to pay a private attorney, they'd replace me in a heartbeat. They'd hired a slick-haired, pinstripe suit-wearing older white man. And if they didn't, then they made sure they got everything they needed out of me. It didn't matter that I was their lawyer because I was a woman. They'd assert their masculinity and remind me who was in charge at every turn. Do and say shit they'd never get away with if they were represented by a man. So it wasn't just the she got a fat ass comments at the jail and sometimes in court that got to me. It was the repulsive looks that reduced me to a set of walking nalgas and tetas that made me want to crawl back into my skin. It was the lack of respect for me as a lawyer, a woman, a Black Latina woman. They didn't have respect for me, but it was their failure to see that I believed in this work, in their right, and the refusal to acknowledge I was also human, which was most exhausting. That's it.
Whew. Ednine, thank you so much. I had to take a breath before continuing. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much for what you do. Thank you for darle pa'lante and just for sharing your struggle with us, right? Your struggle with diversity in your field. I think that's something that a lot of us can relate to. The comments are pouring in, someone saying powerful. Thank you for sharing. Wow, thank you. Thank you for what you do. Yeah, shout out to you. So on deck, not yet, but on deck, we have Nailea Minaya. But right now, let's please give it up for Jennifer Mesquita.
Thank you. I'm really nervous because I just wrote this and this is not what I thought I was going to read today. But yeah, no, who knows? So I'm just gonna go into it because it's a little long and I don't want to waste time. Okay, so November 20th, 1992. A 10-pound baby girl is born in a hospital in Santiago. She makes her way into the world in the same way that she will live, impatiently, violently, ripping through her young mother's birth canal in a gurney on her way into the emergency room. Just after her first breath, her mother is first taken away with a blood clot so big her grandmother says it was a dead twin, and the anxiety starts to settle into the baby girl's skin. February 1996, her mother leaves to pursue the American dream, and her anxiety begins to spread into her ribs. September 1998, Hurricane George hits the east coast of Hispaniola with 120-mile-per-hour winds. She gets her first kiss, her first grope, from a man who has the same hands as her. And her anxiety enters her head. July 2001, her first time going home to a foreign country, back to a mother that no longer knows her, and by now the anxiety has taken a hold of her throat. She chokes on tears, wishing there was something or someone to miss. Summer of 2003, the boy who is supposed to protect her presses her up against a door and tells her he needs her for practice. Her anxiety shapeshifts into his face, into his shadow, into his hands. 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, her bedroom becomes a cage guarded by her father's alcoholism and her mother's rage. But her anxiety begins to fade and anger takes root in her chest. Christmas 2009, she looks her father in the eyes and tells him that if he ever touches her mother again, she will kill him with her bare hands. And she means it. 2016, she remains defiant, even while his face becomes twisted with pain and he begs for forgiveness. She laughs. It's funny how the tables turn when the people you hurt stop being afraid, when the truth becomes a constant threat. And today, you are the ones who are afraid of this poem. Giving trigger warnings.
Ooh. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you. I just want to read some of the comments here. I can feel the pain. I'm sorry. I'm holding you in my heart. You're doing great. I feel it. Thank you for the vulnerability. So brave, so beautiful. And then someone is quoting the last line. And today you are the ones afraid of these poems. Thank you, Jennifer, for sharing your piece. So on deck, not yet, but on deck, please start preparing yourself. Alba Marina Naar. Right now, let's please give it up for Nailea Minaya.
Hey y'all, it's been really beautiful holding this space with everyone. I feel very lucky. My name is Nailea. I am currently working on my memoir. That's the first thing I want to put out. So here we go. Write about a time you felt disenchanted. What is the meaning of this word? Magic is a natural thing that all souls possess. Its various forms make up the collective magic in this world. But what is it that puts out your light, that makes you feel far from bright, that makes you wander aimlessly throughout the night? Is it something you can identify by sight, or a force that you're blind to, one that utters pure fright throughout your entire being? How can you gain your magic back? How did you lose it in the first place? Your wild heart cannot be tamed. Querido corazón, ¿qué pasó? Bueno. I allowed others to put out my fire. I allowed others to make me believe that I was a burden, that I was too much, that when I let this little light of mine shine, that it was too bright. We are darkness, is what I heard, afraid to face ourselves. So your little light is not welcome here. How dare you shine and allow me to see my reflection, allow me to see who I am. Fuck you for pointing me out. How can you do such a horrible thing? You must pay forever and ever and ever for shining your light, for revealing to me my reflection, for becoming greater than I could ever imagine myself to be. You change your life around, but I still see you for the fucker that you used to be. You were supposed to be the first one pregnant. You were not supposed to amount to shit. I thought that if I shit on you, not support you, that this could keep you in the dark, make you afraid of your own reflection. I will make people see you in this dark point of view. If anyone thinks highly of you, you better make sure I'm going to tell them how low you can get. All the times you disobeyed. After all, it's my way or the highway. I ain't shit. I was unmothered. I never felt love, and neither will you. Anytime things start looking up for you, I will try with all my might to screw it up. I will be your roadblock to any goal because your world revolves around me. And since you had the audacity to shine your little light and think that you could be better than anything I taught you to be, well, I'm here to keep you in the dark because I have no heart. And you, my child, will lose yours if you stay close to me or have me in your life. This is what made me feel disenchanted. This is what made me forget my magic. And this writing, poetry, open mic is what helps me remember. Thank you.
Yes, Nailea, yes, yes. This open mic is what helped me remember. Thank you. I just finished reading a book. I can't say the title because it's not out yet. But it's about this, about the importance of telling stories of history and the power that this has. So thank you so much for using that space. I want to read some of the comments. Somebody saying, loco, these things, shine bright, so empowering, mother wounds, oof. And then people are just shouting out your name, saying, Nailea. Thank you so much for reading for us tonight. So on deck, not yet, but on deck, we have Liner Nunez. And right now, let's please give it up for Alba Marina Nar.
Woo! Peace, y'all. I am coming from, I'm from Boston originally, but I live in LA, but I lived in New York and I'm back in New York for a little bit. A lot of like follow arounds. But I haven't done a spoken word piece since the summer when I had my open mic in New York. So I'm feeling so many things right now. I wrote this poem in the summertime. I've been going through a lot of really hard shifts for the past 8 months, traveling back and forth, trying to take care of my mom. And I found myself in a really, really dark place when I wrote this. So here I go. Yo, no, I'm not okay. With the words floating through my head, it's okay to not be okay. Although every fiber in my being wanted to dispute that phrase and make everything even more haze, to leave far away outside of this place in a different space with a different pace of not doing nothing, not feeling anything, and just listening to silence. The comfort ability of everyone else, not able to step in and do what needs to be done properly, blows my mind every second. Research, ask questions, figure it out, yelled at the top of my lungs. But then I recall that herself is in a cycle of pain, of negativity, of wanting to get better so badly, but not knowing how, and expecting the doctors to know the answers, but repeating, I can't every day, won't make anything better. And even when I correct or try to bring some light of positivity or go to the beach, it all feels like it's a dream where happiness can never exist. It pisses me off, makes me so fucking angry. I want you to feel better, but instead you continue to be bitter, making me want to hate you when I've worked so hard to get where I'm at with peace, with the past of, the shit parents do. Damn, I knew healing work was a lot, but fuck, it gets harder every day, wanting my heart to feel brighter. And instead I get tighter while I'm here trying to give my energy to hopefully fix things, but sitting here feeling like not a damn soul appreciates this. And if this sickness is eating you alive, then why is still concerning? The thought provoking of the darkness that continues to pounce in my mind. I don't want to go there, but fuck, I haven't been able to give myself time. After feeling so prime and bringing people together and healing, I sit here under the rain and continue to let my tears shed away, tired, unappreciative, not loved by immediate family, just tired. I just want to get out of here. Pero rápido. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Alba Marina. Thank you. Oof, that was real. That was real. So thank you for sharing yourself. I want to share some of the comments. Folks are saying no one ever talks about the caregiver. So deep. Healing work so necessary. This is bringing me to tears. I love it. Thank you for sharing. Thank you again, Alba Marina. Okay, so on deck, not yet, but on deck, please start preparing your piece. Giselle Pascal. So right now, let's please give it up for Liner Nunez.
Thank you. Hi, Alba. All right, y'all. So I haven't written in a little bit, but I'm back. So here I go. And of course, my computer is about to die right now, but let's just do it. Okay. All right. So who heals the healer when she can't dream? When her bones ache, cry, and crack? When the rain from her eyes reach her back? When she's tired, angry, and black? ¿Quién cuida a la que cuida? Friends. Ella, ellas, ella y yo, friends that ask, what is it that our souls didn't get right? Why are they back? The friends that remind me that the universe needs me. Un café después de un baño debajo de la lluvia, con mami. Tocar tus pies y despertar enamorada, con sus ojos al acostar. El aire del sol, lluvia y tierra, a little talk with spirit. ¿Quién sana a la que sana? Cuando me duele el alma, cuando recuerdo que me dejaste por otra, qué cansancio, el tired de los tires, un chin de agua, malagueta y canela, un bañito claro, las manos de mami, bañarse en el mar de noche, estar en agua y enamorada, palabras de mami, una felicidad de mi alma, to swim under a red moon, bañarse con agua caliente que abraza, con agua fría que despierta, porque soy un morir vivir, skinless sin piel. My blood lives with me when my hurt hurts. My memory, powder, cotton, burning wood. Where do I go when tears speak for me? Santo Domingo. We always go back to our land to be healed. Abechi says, a man belongs to his fatherhood when things are good and life is sweet. But when there is sorrow and bitterness, he finds refuge in motherland. As a healer, I travel to timeless days, to mommy, my first home. Abusive, manipulative energy, you are no longer attached to me or enredado en mí. I am free from you. I liberate myself from you. I make medicine out of words. Every healer is an artist. Let them take care of me. Remember who you are.
Ooh, jazz hands. Thank you so much. Thank you, Liner. I feel like there's like a healer theme happening right now. I just want to read some of the comments. These poems are legit therapy, so powerful. Agua fría que despierta. When there are sorrow and bitterness, he travels back home. Powerful. That was powerful. Thank you so much, Liner, for sharing your piece. Okay, so on deck, not yet. On deck, we have Karencita Suarez. So please prepare yourself. But right now, let's please give it up for Giselle Pascal.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. This is my first open mic. I've been going to the Sunday sessions, the writing sessions with Dominican writers, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I am extremely grateful to hear everyone's expression of their history and their background, and it's amazing. I'm gonna shift a little bit the environment, so please bear with me. So let me go ahead. Like gum stuck on the bottom of your shoe, there I will be, adhering to anyone who passes by and wants to give me a ride. I will ride under you, under her, under him, under them and they. I will leave pieces of me here, there, and everywhere. I will spread myself wide and thin. I will rebel to be removed. I will stick to you and not like Elmer's glue. Before you know it, you'll be saying, hubba bubba, I can't get it off my fingers. Weirdly enough, you smell your fingers and smell my strawberry scent, and you'll find disappointment in not knowing whose mouth I was in. Soon I will have to get off onto the next, onto the floor. My next experience awaits. I will ride under you, under her, under him, under them, and under they, until I completely waste away. That's it.
Thank you so much, Giselle. All right, so folks are saying, we need your words. Yes, that was so vulnerable. Thank you for sharing yourself. I also want to say shout out to first-time performers tonight. We love you. Just thank you for sharing yourself with us. Before I continue, please know if I misspell anyone's name, feel free to correct me when you start. You can say, hey, this is actually how you say my name. So yes. So on deck, not yet. On deck, we have Yariana Torres. Right now, let's please give it up for Karencita Suarez.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. I'm so happy to be here. My best friend sent me a link telling me to sign up for this open mic because I've been telling her how I've been wanting to perform for so long. I used to host open mic at Bodega Pizza in the Heights, and I run an after-school program in Washington Heights. And I'm just so excited about writing and performing. So thank you for having me, and I'm thankful for sharing this moment with all of you. You guys are all amazing. So tonight, I'm going to share a piece called Speak Up. I wrote this a few years ago. I was going to perform at the Museo del Barrio in Harlem, and the poetry night was called Speak Up. So then a few days before the event, they changed the name to Speak Up because some people felt that Speak Up is derogatory and it was offensive to some people. And so I went ahead and I wrote a piece called Speak Up because although negative things are thrown at us, we need to somehow find a way to become resilient and embrace who we are regardless of what's thrown at us. So this is what the piece is about. I'm gonna speak for the souls of my ancestors, all which varied from shades of onyx black to caramelo, to Indian skin with eyes so blue, but speak in true like el cielo. Milk white intermixed with chocolate and latte, but the same blood and tongue, hasta la muerte, or hasta que nos maten. Accents make us Hicks, campesinos, or just Latinos. I call it más sabor, flavor for the gringos. Our blood was stained, and now they're ashamed of the beauty that was created. I'm black, I'm white, I'm Indian, I'm everything, you name it. Robbed us of our tierras and slaughtered our borrowed bodies. But our souls live on forever from Santo Domingo to Bayamón. Through arroz con gandules, you dig in my sazón, olor a quisqueya, a borinquen, al Caribe, al sudor de antepasados, los esclavos me persiguen. So call me a spick, a mira mira, a campesina. Call me a slave, call me Maria if you want to, or if you forget my name, because I'm proud of my Spanish, of my Spanglish, of my Latin, of my hardworking mother and her broken English accent, of being honest, of being humble, of being hungry, but never selfish, of being a Latina. I'm a spick, I can't help it. Of being a Latina, I'm a spick, I can't help it. Of being a Latina, I'm a speak up. I can't help it. Thank you, guys.
Coming up mute.
Woo! Thank you so much for that. All right, I'm just gonna read some of the comments here. So someone on the YouTube is saying, let's go, Karen. Someone said in the beginning, that's how we transmute shit, right? It's how we transmute shit. I love that. Flavor for the gringos, you digging my sazon. I feel your sazon. Yes, and then just a reminder to share your IG, because I'm going to be sharing everyone's IG at the end of the first round. So please do that. But thank you so much, Karencita. Yo, hosting is hard because I be wanting to and it's like, okay, recentering. So on deck, not yet, but on deck, we have Glorelys Urbano. But next up, right now, let's please give it up for Yariana Torres.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here, really. Es un honor y un placer estar en este Zoom with so many of you who are so accomplished. Sorry, it's a little overwhelming. Like, you guys are so good. I'm just gonna go. This poem is called Fulfilling My Purpose. I write to hear God's vision on paper and inspire a lost soul to come drink water, the literature of the heart. When a little girl says my poem is imprinted in her ear like a tumor, with a love that grows like vines on a building, like moss on a tree, like weeds in a garden. I write because there's a lot of New York hiding under these pigtails and butterfly clips. Don't let the getup confuse you, baby girl. I got the rhythm of the Bronx on my tongue. Spit slang at you so quick, you're gonna need a medic. Carry fire hydrants on my earlobes like aretes. Reciting poetry like rap songs taught to me by the squirrels who are always listening on the fire escapes while eating lost piece of someone's bacon, egg, and cheese. Best taste on earth. I write as a way to seek isqueya tíos and tías sleeping in el piso de mi cuarto, feeding me with little regalitos I call wisdom, consejitos, consejotes, always alterando una palabra to make it too much or too little, because enough isn't enough until I make it that, making my own food with my own tongue como la flor, cualquiera flor, todas las flores. I write to nurture my plants, read them my poems and ask what they think, always responding with the fresh fruit of spring, never giving me a bad critique unless they die. Then I know I should have told them a little more, been quieter with my words, told them I love you, poured them a glass of water and fed them a little more sun on a prettier plate. I write to touch the stars, burn my fingerprints, tell someone the truth. Even if that someone is just a paper that will breathe life back into me, that once was a home, that once lived intertwined with the soil of the earth. I write to smell that soil on a rainy day with lots of wind and the aroma of the grass peeking through. Imagine myself laying in the mud, wishing I was friends with it, wishing I could lather myself with the wet dirt and lay in my own thoughts till I'm lightheaded. Let the leeches suck the negativity out of my blood. Let the sweet cold water of the Rio cleanse me of y'all's negative energy. Why would I wait for you when I can lay here and let the Connecticut grass hug me? Let the New York City pigeons sing to me. Let the air of the ambiente embrace me. This earth has been much kinder to me than anyone, and that is why I write, to thank you. That's all. Thank you.
Woo! Yariana, thank you. Yo, this generation is bringing the heat. What? Shout out to the youth. I'm saying thank you so much. I just want to read some of the comments. I write to touch the stars. Sis is on fire. You too hard. Period. That's right. Period. Thank you so much, Dariana. So, on deck, not yet, but on deck, we have Andrea Jacobo. But right now, let's please give it up for Glorelys Urbano.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much for providing us with the platform to perform, right? Shout out to Dominican writers, Amanda, amazing, everyone. And Yariana, oh my God, I missed you so much, girl. It was so long since I didn't see you. So tonight, I'm going to be performing a poem that I wrote a few weeks ago. It's a poem about my dad. As a lot of you guys can relate, after you write something down, it basically means that you're kind of letting it go, kind of, you know, it's a healing process. So I am happy that I was able to write this poem. It has been really overwhelming for me to be able to even, you know, put my feelings down when it comes to that subject. But as a Black woman and as a Dominican woman, you know, Dominican men have this stereotype and in this culture, kind of, I can say, when it comes to the relationship with their daughters, that kind of has influenced my life and the way that I find love, if you know what I mean. So I am going to read the poem now. My friends are watching me, shout out to my friends. So I'm going to read the poem in Spanish first and then in English because I want them to understand me. Shout out to Amor, Camon, and Entene that are watching me right now. Okay. Querido papá, dear dad, te dedico mi primera carta de abril. Tengo 20 años que contarte. Espero que mis letras te encuentren en tu mejor momento, desapercibido y listo para culparte por el derroche emocional que te llevaste contigo al partir. Perdón que no me presento. He aquí te escribe la niña de 8 años y la mujer de 20. Por favor, ponte cómodo. He estado doblando mi lengua bajo sí misma por mucho tiempo y si algo no heredé de ti fue lo de cobarde. 20 de enero sin ti aprendí a montar bici. Me compré mi primer lápiz labial, me enamoré por primera vez y me rompieron el corazón por segunda. Tú, claro, te marcaste la primera. Te he repetido en mi alma una y otra vez por 20 años, ofreciéndole al corazón una imagen vaga de lo que quise crear de ti y abstractamente soñándote para evitar el rencor que siempre dejó tu ausencia. Fui a la universidad y me enamoré de hombres con el mismo patrón emocional de abandonarme a pleno querer y añorar a medias. Estableciste en mi vida un vago estándar de lo que esperar a la hora de recibir y desesperadamente busqué tu ausencia en mi juventud, cometiendo errores, ausentando las caricias de aquellos cuyas intenciones decían amarme, pero rogándole a gritos amor marchito a todo aquello con una leve semejanza a ti. A pesar de todos mis desamores, te marcaste la que más dolió. Y cual cobarde abracé mis sentimientos en poemas y te dediqué miles de ellos una y otra vez, intentando revivir tu presencia en mi vida y tristemente fallándole a mi alma en cada ocasión. Refugiada en los brazos de una realidad ajena que dolía mucho como para mirarle a la cara y la escondí en el vagón de la melancolía por cuanto pude y creé todo de nada. A pura desesperación te busqué en la última página de mis libros, en amores añejos, en cartas ausentes, contra viento y marea, intentando llegar a casa solo para que tú me cierres la puerta. Para el tiempo que crecí y me convertí en mujer, mi alma ya estaba demasiado rota como para perdonarte. He vagado por años sedienta a saber de ti y solo me ofreciste desiertos de falsedad emocional, ausencia a clase baja, pero siempre latente a la idea de que no estabas dispuesto a amarme. Por eso me odié durante años, porque asumí la idea de que tal vez en alguna realidad alterna, algo en mí te hirió lo suficiente como para irte y no volver, para elegirme como tu responsabilidad y hacerte el irresponsable. Admiro la habilidad que tuviste al amarme a medias y mentir con rencores. Cual maratón le huiste a mi necesidad sedienta de sentirme amada y por muy roto que hayas estado, intentando sanar tus heridas, derroché sangre cuanto pude. Te odié por hacerme sentir culpable de quererte, ser protagonista de mis libros de amor y villano a la misma vez. Pero inútilmente invitarme a la carrera y soltar mi mano pasado el primer 1.50 m y esperar a que yo complete el resto exitosamente. Pero en un intento equitativo con mi alma, te he estado esperando con el alma rota, pero el corazón abierto y lista para perdonar. He parado de soñarte en primaveras y llorarte los veranos. Me he guardado mis lágrimas para tu último adiós. Sentada tras el portazo que separó nuestras vidas e innecesariamente calmando temores de fallar una vez, he estado esperando a gritos una vida, la versión de ti mismo que nunca te atreviste a afrontar, el reflejo de tus acciones en la única persona capaz de culparte de un daño permanente del que tal vez en otros 100 años tendrá perdón. Te escribe tu hija, la del corazón roto, incapaz de poder amar. If you guys can give me the platform to read it in English too, as well. Dear Dad, I'm writing you my first letter of April. I have 20 years to tell you. I hope my words find you at your best, unnoticed and ready to blame yourself for the emotional waste you took with you upon your leaving. Sorry, I have not introduced myself. Here is the 8-year-old girl and the 20-year-old woman. Please make yourself comfortable. I have been folding my tongue underneath itself for way too long. And if something I did not inherit from you, it was cowardly. 20 Januaries without you. I learned to ride a bike. I bought my first lipstick. I fell in love for the first time and got my heart broken for the second. You, of course, marked the first. I have repeated you in my soul over and over for 20 years, offering the heart a vague image of what I wish to create of you, abstractly dreaming of you to avoid the anger that your absence left. I went to college and fell in love with men with the same emotional pattern of abandoning me in the middle of loving. You said in my life I put a poor standard of what to expect when receiving, and I desperately sought your absence in my youth, making mistakes, avoiding the affection of those whose intentions cared enough to love me right, but begging for withered love to everything with a slight resemblance of you. Despite all of my heartbreaks, you marked the one that hurt the most. And like a coward, I cuddled my feelings in poems, and I dedicated you thousands of them over and over again, trying to resuscitate your presence in my life and inconsolably failing my soul once again. A refugee in the arms of a foreign reality that hurt too much to face it. And I hid it in the wagon of melancholy for as long as I could. And I made everything out of nothing in sheer of desperation. I looked for you in the last page of my books, in old loves, absent letters, against all odds, trying to get home just for you to shut the door on me. By the time I grew up and became a woman, my soul was already too broken to forgive you. I have wandered for years, thirsty to know about your abstract persona. And you only offer me deserts of emotional falsehood, low absences, but always latent to the idea that you were never willing to love me. That's why I hated myself for years, because I assumed the idea that maybe in an alternate reality, something in me hurt you enough to leave me and not come back, to choose me as your responsibility and then play the irresponsible. I admire your evil skills of half loving me in line with grudges. Like Marathon, you ran away from my need to feel loved, and no matter how broken you had been, trying to heal your wounds, I wasted my blood as much as I could. I hated you for making me feel guilty for loving you, being the protagonist of my love books and the villain at the same time, for uselessly inviting me to the run and letting go of my hand past the first meter 50 and hoping that I can successfully complete the rest alone. But in a fair attempt with my soul, I have been waiting for you with a broken soul, but an open heart and ready to forgive. I have stopped dreaming of you in the springs and mourning you in the summers. I've saved my tears for your last goodbye. Sitting behind the slamming door that separated our lives and unnecessarily calming my fears of failing once more, I have been crying out for a lifetime, the version of yourself that you never dared to face, the reflection of your actions in the only person capable of blaming you for a permanent damage for which perhaps in another 100 years might be forgiven. Your daughter writes you, Dad, the one with the heart turned to ashes, incapable of loving again. Thank you.
Whew. Thank you. Thank you so much, Morelys. Thank you for sharing your work. Thank you for sharing it in both languages too. I did give you the extra time, especially because we're still waiting on, we're about to end the first round and we're still waiting on our guest for tonight. But thank you so, so much. I just want to read some of the comments. Todo de nada, qué talento, Dios mío. This made me cry. Morelos, you are gold. Some people are quoting you, right? Mentir con rencores. This is absolutely beautiful. And then someone wrote, I can feel your beautiful heart full of forgiveness and compassion despite the pain. Thank you, Morelys, for sharing your art with us. So on deck, we have, well, we're gonna see what happens, right? On deck, we are going to go back to round 2 now. So if anyone wants to perform again, please prep your poem. And if you don't want to perform, please let me know, because I'm basically just going to call out everyone who went on the first round. Right now, though, let's please give it up for Andrea Jacobo.
Thank you so much. I just want to say, let's take a collective breath, because esta vaina estaba candela. Thank you. Let's take a collective breath in through your nose. Hold it at the top. Exhale through your mouth. One more time. Inhale through your nose. Hold. Exhale. Thank you. Morelys, I'm serious. You are a powerhouse. Thank you for those pieces and showing it in 2 languages. I loved it. You definitely, I said in the chat, you know, your words make me feel muscles I've never felt. Thank you. Just want to say thank you. My flowers. The youth, yo, the youth. Dale. Okay. So I have 1 piece, and if there's time, I can participate in the second round. Dulce de agua. I asked my 4th grade teacher, why does the water taste so sweet when you get out of the ocean? It is the only place I've experienced the taste of water. Sweet water. Miami, where swamplands turned into estuaries of dreams of better futures. Mangroves protecting the storms from the wind season. Sweet water. I'm looking forward to the oasis that I can bathe. Me, you, us. I'll never forget when I learned how anemones die and coral reefs mourn of the days in which they broke bread. That leads to antidote of loneliness. It is through water where I come from. Sweet water, and the hurricanes that brought me here. Where is the water you come from? En la casa de mi abuela Margarita, cuando se limpiaba el piso, se echaba agua. In my grandmother's house, it smelled of tree nectar. The floors were clean of suds of roots. Water splashed everywhere, and I would wait to see the waters and waves filled with jabón de guava, crushed against the walls like the waves of the Malecón. If you close your eyes at night, while the bustle of Santo Domingo comes to a ghosting hum, you can hear the waves from La Azotea. These are the waters where I am from. Agua cleanses the spirit like the crimson brick floors, generations that came before me. When it rained, la lluvia said hello and entered their home, como una vecina tremetía. Y like the eyes of a nosy neighbor, I would watch the water rise within the tract of the sliding doors of El Patio de Succulents. And there I would read the spillover into the living room. ¿De qué aguas viene tu familia? I always loved an aguacero in summer to cool the city, to let the heat rise from the concrete, grounding the people. It allowed my spirit to roam within raindrops. I thought I learned how to swim in the ocean, but it was in the daydreams of water. Gracias. Thank you, everybody. Beautiful.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you also for that breath in the beginning, but thank you so much for sharing yourself, sharing your work. I just want to read some of the comments. Wow, the spillovers guiding the water allowed my spirit to roam within raindrops. Fuego, thank you for taking us on a trip. Thank you so much. So right now at 9:30, we are supposed to have our guest performing. She says she's arriving right now, so let's, I'm just taking 1 second. All right, it's 9:30, let's see. I'm gonna start reading her bio, and then maybe she's here right when I'm done, right? Like, let's see, let the universe sync up a little bit. But I just want to take a moment also to acknowledge this first round. We did it. Thank you so much to all of the poets, to all of you, to all of the artists, the singer, the comedian, the writers. Thank you for sharing yourself tonight and sharing your work. For round two, it will only be 2 minutes, and I will be keeping time because it's 23 folks, and so far everyone wants to go again. So I will be, so that everyone gets the chance to go, I will be very strict. I'm gonna be like timing folks. If I interrupt you, please, don't get offended. It's what it is, right? So tonight we have Glorelys Mora performing for us. She is a comedian. I saw her in person a couple years ago during an open mic where she was also the guest, and it was so much fun. And I think to me, I'm gonna wait till she's here to read this part, to say that part, right? And read her bio. So Glorelys Mora is a proud Dominican American Black Latina stand-up comedian, born and raised born and raised in Uptown New York, who has appeared on HBO, Vice TV, Fuse TV, TV One, Clio TV with Jeff JJ, a Fashion Police with the late Joan Rivers, and more. Her style of comedy can be described as one of a quintessential Gemini. The underground comedy scene calls her by her moniker, The Legends, and she's performed at legendary comedy venues such as Caroline's on Broadway, the Laugh Factory, New York Comedy Club, Union Hall, Yonkers Comedy Club, the Virgil, Nuyorican Cafe, and more. And tonight, I'm super excited that we're gonna have her joining us. I don't think she's joined yet, so let's begin round two, all right? Let's begin, oh, there she is. Yay! All right, Glorelys, I was just reading your bio. Can you hear us? She's like, damn, let me breathe. Like,
wait, am I supposed to talk? I was just muted.
Okay, yeah, no, it's because when you join, you're muted, but now you're unmuted.
Oh, hi, everybody. So you read my bio. How's the open mic going? Did everybody go already?
Yeah, everybody went. So everybody went for round one, and then we would love for you to perform now, and then we're gonna continue for round two.
Love it. So I'm just gonna kick it off. Oh, somebody say something?
No, I was just gonna say yes, and I was gonna say, I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you so much to you, for joining us tonight. I saw you perform. Okay, now we got you.
I didn't even realize my camera wasn't on. I'm like a millennial. I still can't work Zoom. I know it's been like 2 pandemics, but I'm still struggling.
No, I was saying that the first time that I saw you perform, I loved it because I don't think I had ever seen like a stand-up Dominican comedian. And to me, it just felt like I've seen so many comedians, but seeing someone who was talking about like my struggles and shit like I went through, I was like, oh my God, this is warming my heart and also making me embarrassed.
Comedy's for, let's embarrass ourselves. And also, Amanda, you gave me one of my first stage times when I was first starting out. So everything comes full circle. So I really appreciate you. I'm gonna just go straight into it. At the beginning of the pandemic, I broke up with my boyfriend. I found out he was ugly. And that is not my brand. I'm usually, a lot of people think I look like Rihanna. I'm not Rihanna, the Dominican version. But the truth is that when you spend a lot of time with someone especially during the pandemic, you start realizing they're kind of ugly. Like, you realize all these excuses you made for them were just like, wow, like he really is ugly on Instagram and in real life. You start noticing that like he's balding and his teeth are a little crooked and that like he's, like he's just not that cute. So yeah, and then I ended up breaking up with him because I realized that, I'm a shallow bitch. He just was not the man for me. And he really was balding. a lot of Dominican men, you know, they like to bald after 30. They like to act like they put together, but they need to chill. I'm just saying after 30, you don't really have any leverage in the dating game, you know? They like to oppress us in the 20s, but you know, they be ugly after 30, so they need to like settle down. But yeah, I found out my man was ugly. The truth is that he was a little abusive. He suffocated me with a pillow. People get really alarmed by that. And sometimes people, like I tell people, don't feel bad about it. Because I'm not saying I deserved it or anything, but like I'm very self-aware. I'm Dominican. Everybody here, we all Dominicans, right? We could be a little, you know, the Dominican women could be a little, you know, extra. And I'm also a Gemini. So that the Gemini thing really did it for him. Yeah, I was asking a lot of questions like, why are you cheating on me? And apparently you're supposed to just let your man do his thing on the side and mind your business. You know, yeah, Gemini gang. Whenever I'm at shows, I'm usually performing in front of white audiences. So I always tell them like, do you guys know where the Dominican Republic is at? And I tell them that, you know, it's a beautiful country in Washington Heights, the last stop on the A train. You can smoke all the hookah you want. That's where I'm from. But yeah, it was just a terrible relationship. And sometimes I wish I would have been a little more patient with him because he had a dishwasher. And I didn't realize, right, how important having machines in your life is, right? Like all my life, like all of us, we've been washing dishes for a really long time. I've been fighting with my mom for years about washing dishes. And I didn't know that there was a machine out there that solves generational trauma. You just put all the dishes in the machine and that solves the day, you know, like, Andrea, I see you laughing. It's just that I felt a lot with my mom, and my mom is a Virgo. So like, she's a control freak. And at first I didn't believe dishwashers work. Like I'm fucking 30, I'm about to be 32 this year. And I'm like, I just got one. I always feel like a really poor bitch by saying that, but I didn't know I could have a dishwasher. Like, because our parents, like, they're like, oh, that's impossible. I thought dishwashers were thousands of dollars. It's only $200. So I just got a little dishwasher. It came right with the apartment. And I spent a whole weekend looking at YouTube videos, like really in awe of how dishwashers work. Like the water pressure really cleans dishes. Because I don't trust, like I said, I'm Dominican. I don't trust people to wash things the way I wash them. You know, I always look at the dishes like, is this shit really working? But yeah, dishwashers, they solve generational trauma. I think that we all need dishwashers in our home, especially if you have a Dominican mother. Shout out to Arelis Liz, she be doing a lot. But yeah, I've been dating now. Dating, pandemic or not, has been really hard because it's really exhausting to hide the fact that you're crazy from someone for like 12 months. Like that, it's a lot to hold in, right? You gotta act like you care about his interests, about the war movies that he's into. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit, you know, like, but it's hard because, you know, we have to pretend that we care. That's what gets men to love us, pretending, the same way they pretend for us. But yeah, dating has been hard. I've been on all the dating apps. I've been on LinkedIn, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle. Zelle is my favorite app. Same day deposit. I'm just saying, if you don't have Zelle, today's the day to get Zelle. But yeah, I love Zelle. And I just feel like for women, and maybe some men too, I think, you know, women's empowerment. I think for women, we got to use our date. If I could do my whole phase over, I always think about that. Now that I'm 30, I'm like more selective. I was like, if I could do my 20s over, I really would have started a savings account, like just a separate savings account. Because listen, hear me out. I feel like dating is our opportunity as women to build wealth. Let him pay for everything. Let him, in all your 20s, let him pay for, is that fucked up? I know I'm a fucked up person. Let him pay for everything. All the money you save, put it in stocks and buy yourself a Tesla. So when he cheats on you, you just wave the buy from the Tesla. I'm just saying we should have done it. I should have done it better. I was over here falling in love, like thinking that somebody was my twin flame. None of these men out here are soulmates. That's just what it is. I know a lot of us we still have hope out there. I'm not here to kill your dreams, but I'm just saying, start investing in stocks. When you're on a date, you know what's really great about dating? Getting information from men. A lot of them think they're businessmen. So you just take information from them, like, oh, really? Have a free steak, take the information and go. I'm just saying, build wealth. But yeah, I've been on all the dating apps and I get asked a lot of like weird questions on dates and that's what really makes the dating awkward, right? Like you're just people ask you like weird ass questions like, who's your favorite rapper? And I'm just like, that's a really layered question because your rapper says everything you need to, like, it reveals so much about you. Like if you like Jay-Z, you're super pretentious. You think you're gonna buy a building in Brooklyn, you're into cryptocurrency, like you're just doing a lot, you know? I'm just saying, any man that loves Jay-Z, those three buckets. Oh, Paola said drag me, right? If you're into Kanye West, you know, you low-key a genius, but you like your ass ate a little bit. And that's just pretty much it there. And I guess, like I said, I do a lot of shows, and one day some guy was like his favorite rapper was Soulja Boy. And I thought he was trolling. Like, it's like, that cannot be your favorite rapper. There are a lot of people, right? There's a lot of people to choose from. And if you're from New York and that's your favorite rapper, I knew that he was toxic. It was just, and he was naming like hits that weren't even like hits. I was just like, you're doing too much. And he was dead serious. So like I said, naming your favorite rapper, it just reveals so much about you. You don't want to say that, right, since 2008. You don't want to reveal that at the table. What else do I hate? I hate when people ask me if I'm a ride or die chick. If you go to jail, you're staying there. That is also not my brand. I don't do crime. Unless, like for me, I just feel like some of the men that I've dated in my life, they were all pushing weed. I'm like, I need you to push coke. I need you to believe in yourself. If you're gonna go to jail, go to the best jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I calling you for? Like, because of weed? That's legal now. Like, why are you still signing that? You know? I just need you to believe in yourself. Like, really take that risk. A lot of people always ask me what's my real name. Of course, like y'all say, my real name is Glorelys. I think every Dominican has like a real name. We also, like, a lot of our moms have 2 birthdays. We have it's like we're living a double life, you know? I actually got I hit up my aunt thinking it was her birthday, but it was her fake birthday. I was really like, damn, I'm about to get disowned. But Facebook fucks that up. Like, they don't even put their real birthday on Facebook. It's a fake birthday. The birthday from New York. I'm just saying, Nico, is a thing. So don't get into my family business. Anyways, because it's a thing. I don't know why. It's a thing. Anyways. But yeah, they asked me what my real name is. My real name is Glorelys. My mom made it up. A lot of us, I feel like Yariana, you're giving me made up name vibes. And definitely there was a Morelis in here. Like, your name is made up for sure. We have the same name. Like, we almost could have had the same parents. I feel like people are asking me, I'm gonna answer these. These are real life experience. I'm gonna answer them. The papeles, right? And then they be so secretive too about the birthday. I be feeling bad, like I'm snitching on my family. Like, babe, mom, your birthday's in August. Stop lying. You know. Anyways, she might go to jail for that. Anyways, let's move on. But yeah, my real name is Glorelys. My mom made it up. She took her name Arelis and my grandma's name Gloria. Oh my God, your mom's name is Arelis too? Oh, let me find out, girl. That's how I got my name. Look at that. To my names together. It turns out my grandma's name was Sophia. So I'm not really sure like what happened there, the miscommunication. It was giving Mercury retrograde, Dominican math. It was like and then they mess it up and just leave it like that on the birth certificate forever. So that's how I got my name. And men are always like super surprised by that. And sometimes I wish I had a more simple name like Ashley. I feel like every race has an Ashley and everybody hates an Ashley. That really is what brings the world together. I'm just saying, we all thought about the Ashley that we all hate. I know I have 2. And she came in front of mine. I was like, I still don't like her. It doesn't matter how much growth I've done. I do not like that woman. What else? Oh, I hate when people ask me, are you a hoe? Because that's such an intimate question. Right. I'm just saying, men always want to know if you're a hoe. And it's like, you need to stop projecting on me, and you need to be able to, I don't know if I could curse here, but whoever I have been with before, you need to be able to outperform them. And that's all you should be worried about. Like, don't take that out on me, you know? Just because you're insecure, oh yeah, you should be able to outfuck them. I'm just saying, thank you, Amanda. So yeah, and I just feel like people ask these layered questions, and it's just like, obviously, like if you went to college, you're probably a little bit of hoe, but it's like there's different kinds of hoes out there. I just hate that people like think that hoeing is such a monolith. And as women, we're like, oh my God, am I like the worst hoe? It's like, no, there's a spectrum. You're probably in the middle. You're probably in the middle of hoeing, you know? And like I said, there's different kinds of hoes, right? You have your dumb hoe, they believe in love, and that's stupid. Love is not real. Astrology is not real. The world is not real. We're on a floating rock. And I just feel like for us, I feel like for women, the story of being with our soulmate is so important to us. But that's not how men don't care about their soulmate. They just one day decide that they feel ready and they pick whoever's nearby. They're like, you know what? I'm gonna just pick this random chick I met last week and make her my girlfriend. So if you're in a relationship right now, your boyfriend probably settled because he just picked whoever was around. I'm just saying. But yeah, what kind of other quiet holes? Usually a Libra. Libras are really bad at texting back, super passive aggressive sometimes, but they know how to lick nipples. And I learned a lot of sexual tricks from Libras. I'm just saying. Libras are holding it down for the hoes of the world. And then you have your bougie hoe. She only sucks dick in Portugal. I'm not saying that's me, but I've been to Lisbon, you know? And like I said, ladies, build wealth, go to Lisbon, because a lot of the times you're falling in love and you're exhausting yourself and dating men that are wasting your time. And I just feel like if you're gonna suck dick, right? No shade, if whoever sucks dick, anybody, you should just not do it in the Bronx and not do it in Brooklyn. You should go to Italy. You know, have a little bruschetta, have a little Cabernet Franc, see the world. Go to France. The French Riviera is beautiful. I'm not saying I've been there, but I've been there. Monaco. I'm just saying, see the world. There are just so many beautiful countries out there. Because what do men give you here in the city? Tap water. After they give you head, it's always tap water and a tap in the back. Like, good job. Like, are you serious? I paid for my Uber to get here. Dominican men. Oh, not even just everybody, all men. I'm just saying, all men. That one almost felt passionate. It did come from a real place. It was a person. But yeah, I just think that we need to see the world, leave New York, and have a better whole phase. I just feel like whole phases are not really taught to us well. And if we teach, it's fine to have a whole phase. We just need to teach them better. Like, you know, stop dating your local guy in the neighborhood because he's not going anywhere, right? Like, we need to elevate, build wealth. I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt, build wealth. But yeah, I'm a real, I don't even know how many minutes I'm at. Oh, okay, perfect. You know, I'm a real ass bitch. I was born and raised in New York City. I'll fuck a bitch up, hypothetically speaking, because I can't fight. All my cousins have jumped in for me in all my fights. God bless the family. You always need at least a scary looking family member to put up the facade. Because the truth is that nobody knows how to fight. But if you outnumber, people will leave you alone. I'm just saying, I've been jumped 2 times, and I feel like that's a rite of passage for a lot of us. And me, I got jumped. I know why I got jumped, because I don't know how to mind my business. Like, when people are getting cheated on, mind your business. That's not your business. Let it go. But yeah, I'm a real ass bitch. If you tell me to pull up somewhere, I'm gonna be there. And I had one of the guys on Tinder tell me, if you're a real one, pull up. I didn't know him. I pulled up to JFK, like, what's really good, right? Without realizing that I didn't really know this man and I was really going to Lisbon. You know, it's one thing to talk about it, but to be about it, like, that shit is crazy. Like, so I was in the airport, mad nervous. I don't do drugs like that, just Plan Bs. So he gave me a little edible. Yeah, I know. He gave me a little edible, and I didn't realize that I was supposed to share the edible. So y'all already know. Y'all see me talking, I was blabbing away. I was like, oh my God, are you high right now? Do you ever get nervous? Are you single? I heard you fuck your girl. Is that you? And he was like, who the fuck is this bitch? Like, what the fuck? So we're on the flight, and he's like, you know, we're like, you know, we didn't really ask each other those questions of like, because when you travel with someone, that's when you get to know who they are. And we didn't really unpack, like, you know, what are you looking forward to doing this trip? And by the way, I pay for my own flight, because if you pay for your flight, then they don't expect anything, right? So you have to just fall in love organically. But he's asking me all these questions, like, what's your biggest fear on this trip? I'm like, I just hope that you don't kidnap me, LOL. He didn't, I'm alive. And his fear was like, I hope you're not boring. I'm like, you don't gotta worry about that. I'm a legendary comedian. Don't play with my brand. So, right, I'm mad high, and the salmon came out, because it was Morocco Airlines. This is rich, okay? Morocco. We was going to Morocco. So the salmon came out, I was eating, yada, yada, yada. And I didn't realize that I just did too much. My stomach started bumbling. Like, I had the Plan B, the salmon, the NyQuil that I took, and it was in my stomach like Scooby-Doo, pop. It was crazy. It was a lot. The hookah came out, everything. Needless to say, like, I was on the plane, I fainted, my wig came off. It was terrible. Me and that man did not work out, but if you Google legendary comedian New York Times, I was in the news for fainting on a plane. I'm gonna leave y'all with a motivational speech. I feel like I've been, you know, I hope y'all been enjoying this. I'm gonna leave y'all with a motivational speech. Besides build wealth, the decisions, I'm just saying, like, ladies, thank you, Rosalind. The decisions you make in life shape your future. Being here tonight on Zoom to share your open mics, your art, is for a reason. I made a decision before the pandemic, because I'm a Gemini. So I live in the future. Like, I'm not even here right now. I'm in 2025. Like everybody's in 2022. I already left this year, like, you know? So when the pandemic came, I was ready because I was already living quarantine style. I was like, wait, so everybody is just not going to talk to each other and not leave their house. I'm like, this is that's my day to day, you know? Right. Work from home. So I was living in the future, and I realized the decisions I made in life shaped my future. And I was just so grateful that I made one really big decision. I was at Target spending my PPP loan. I got about $10 million. I'm probably gonna go to jail, and that's fine. So I was spending my $10 million trying to buy a new dishwasher, and I saw these kids running around. And I was just so grateful for all the plan Bs that I've taken in my life, because imagine going through the pandemic with no dishwasher and kids. That would have been tragic. Anyways, that's my time. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Sorry, it was kind of ratchet. But yeah.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Yo, the comments. I appreciate that you've been responding to the comments as we go. Like this. Es que ya no sé qué decir. Ya tú dijiste todo.
I'm just saying we have to live our best lives.
Shout out to you. Shout out to your vibe. Shout out to your energy. Shout out to you being legendary, teaching us how to be legendary and how to live in the future. Dropping gems, dropping jokes.
Right, they're gems and jokes. That's what I'm saying, Amanda.
Don't try this at home, and if you do, Dominican writers, we not involved. That's it. Whatever happens after tonight, you know, this is the little asterisk in the bottom of the page. If you take this medicine, whatever side effects, that's not on us.
That is so funny. Yeah, and I just want to let everybody know, I was talking to Angie, I let her know that on February 27th, at the New York Comedy Club, my friend and I were putting together a show. It's going to be a Dominican takeover. So it's going to be pretty much every Dominican stand-up that's doing stand-up right now at that show. It's like 6 of us that are really, and you know, I think the beauty of being Dominican and even just Latino in general, that we're so diverse. So like my jokes are so different from Ida's and Ian's and Julio's jokes. So it's going to be every Dominican that you should know about at that show. February 27th. I'm going to post about it. So I'll drop my Instagram here. And then I have a huge show, June 15th at the Stand. It's just my birthday show. And then later this year, me and my friend Sasha, we're trying to sell out a huge venue, maybe Museo de Barrio, wishfully the Apollo, and we're trying to do another Dominican just lineup. So every day, I just want everyone, like, I know you guys met me today, but there's so many dope stand-up comics out there, and you guys just got to find them. And it's just, yeah. Sorry, Amanda, I'm gonna drop all this stuff here. I'm gonna write in here. So I'm gonna put myself on mute now.
No, right here, you're good. But yeah, thank you so much again. Glory, let's send Glory some, jazz fingers. This is what we've been doing because, you know, we can't clap, we can't do the normal in-person thing. So thank you so much. All right, so I think I'm gonna take a page from Andrea Jacobo's book. Let's all take a collective deep breath to start round 2. So breathe in. Hold it at the top. And breathe out. Okay, she was way better than me, but you know, it's just a breath. All right, so for round 2, on deck, not yet, on deck, we have Maciel Alfonso. Right now, let's give it up again for Diana Alejandrina.
Thank you. I just want to say, you guys, it's been so incredibly amazing. All of you have such a unique pieces, and I truly connected with a lot of them. So I'm really happy to be in this space again with you. And yeah, let's go right into it. The one that I'm going to be performing, this is the second time that I read this poem, and it's called A Writer's Heart. Do not mess with a writer's heart. You'll find yourself as a narrative of life. Will describe every detail, from your head to your toes, from your heart to your soul, to the little lies you told, thinking will never catch up. Do not mess with a writer's heart. We'll build different, and that you cannot deny. We find words that pierce through your heart, leaving you trembling inside from all the pain you left behind. Yes, we are like that. We are precise. We submerge ourselves into the blank pages, creating magic out of open wounds. We listen to our emotions and transform them into a form of poetry you may not know, like a sonnet, a ballad, a villanelle, or a tanka, you name it. We got it. Listen to my voice as I recite my final words. Do not mess with the writer's heart. You'll find yourself floating through the rhymes, permanently existing within our poetic lines. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. I'm gonna be going a little faster for round two. So on deck, Ruth Cáceres. Right now, let's give it up for Maciel Alfonso.
Hello, we're back. This piece is called Memoria de mi niñez. And this is my first time performing, so bear with me. Voy para allá, voy a buscar la mujer que me domina. Dad pours another cup of Brugal Añejo. The alcohol comes out like honey, kisses the rims of his glass. He closes his eyes, locating himself to another place, a place that isn't our overcrowded one-bedroom apartment. Voy para allá, voy a buscar la mujer que me domina. Dad collects women like baseball cards, his fingers imitating that of a guitarist. Me gusta esa vaina, he would sing as the guitar cries out to the beat. Father pours himself another drink, this time thinking of la mujer que lo domina, not mom. Voy para allá, voy a buscar la mujer que me domina. He's down to the bottom of the bottle, a place he's been before, a place I've been before. This was back in 2006, where Dad pours his drink and dreams of women that aren't mom. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maciel. On deck, not yet, on deck, have Paola Cespedes. Right now, let's give
I think you're muted, Amanda.
Oh, okay. Ooh, so sorry. So on deck, thank you. On deck, not yet, but on deck. Wait, so if I was muted, I also have to say thank you so much, Maciel, for sharing. Thank you so much for opening yourself up to us. So on deck, not yet, we have Paola Cespedes. But right now, let's please give it up for Ruth Cáceres.
Thank you guys. I'm so inspired by everyone today, by the way. I didn't mention the first time I read, but this is the first time I've ever done something like this. I've written for a long time, but I've never shared it in this way. So forgive me if I sound really nervous. I just want you to know that I'm very inspired by each and every one of you. You guys inspire me to be a better writer. So thank you for tonight. I'm going to read the next couple of paragraphs that I wrote in this short story. So it starts, I spoke English as soon as I set foot in New York. I was so good at pretending that there was never a moment for me of not knowing. Well, except for the word glue. Can you pass the glue? The dark-haired boy said. We were just sticking bright, colorful tissue paper at school to make fall-colored leaves. But I was paralyzed. I had no idea what he needed me to pass him, so I just stared at his pale moon face long enough to see the realization come over him. Ah, the Dominican kid. He got up to get it himself, completely offended. Glue. I still get nauseous when I hear that terrible word. The way it makes you touch the roof of your mouth with your tongue. The way it's so white, like the magnesium they made me drink in DR every day. I hate that color, like Ahab must have hated that giant white whale. Glue is my Moby Dick. Now I just sit here in silence and let loss in. I simply give it space here in my kitchen. We have coffee together like old friends. We don't have to speak. So my kid walks in. Hey, Mom, have you looked at the sky today? He grabs a bottle of water. It's so beautiful. OMG. This is my same 5-year-old son that saw a garbage truck yesterday and said, Mom, look at the garbage truck. It's so beautiful. So I agreed without looking up like I always do. He says, the clouds are pink today. That's interesting, I whisper. On our walk to school today, the sky was the same exact shade of rich blue that suburban people paint their houses with to go with their crispy white trims. How dark it was, but how bright. Mom, how do you say I want more chicken in Spanish? Quiero más chicken, I say. And everyone, oh, you know what? I'm gonna end it there because if I start the next thing, it's gonna be really long. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Ruth. Woo, thank you. I love that so much. All right, so on deck, Rosalind Damiana. Rosalind Damiana. But right now, let's give it up for Paola Cespedes.
Thank you. I was going to read something a little heavier, but I'm going to read something still heavy, but less heavy than what I was going to read. I am a creative nonfiction writer. I'm a poet. This is part of an essay, a collection of essays that I'm working on. So if you have any feedback, let me know. But thank you for listening. So the name of this essay is called Luz. Traditionally, in a Dominican household, daughters must bring home excellent grades, keep their bedroom and house tidy, and also be a leading example of girlhood to other primas. You were to be respectful, timid, yet friendly, a perfect student, and if you attended CCD class every other Sunday, that was the ultimate bonus. And although by the age of 4, I was reading in Spanish and English, an exemplary CCD student by 8, competitive dancing by 9, my parents knew that I was not perfect. They would point out my messy room, laziness when it came to my chores, and had already been called in to meet with my teacher after school to discuss my chattiness in class. They would also grind their teeth and ball their fists at my counter arguments like, si yo soy malcriada, no es mi culpa porque fuiste tú que me criaste. I had figured out how many seconds I had between uttering those words and running to the door before I got my ass beat. But see, my parents showed anger. My parents showed anger in those moments, but in reality, they were more angry that they had come to realize that I did not turn out to be the niña buena they had prayed that I would be. Instead, I was born bearing an unknown pain inside me. I was born already mourning the child I had hardly the time to be. I was born with this deep wisdom that only comes from living through pain. It was as if my soul already knew the pain my body would endure in this lifetime. As the only girl amongst 2 older brothers, I knew that my life was already set out to be different. I knew that I would not be like other girls. I would pedal fast, trying to catch up to the boys when they purposely tried to leave me behind. I would show off my hand-me-down felines and champion sweatsuits on the playground, while the other girls were rocking their sparkly Air Force Ones. And still, at 30 years old, I've never owned a pair. My scabs would bleed through my tights during ballet class. I'd learned to dissect worms and set up squirrel and rabbit traps without ever catching anything. See, I knew that my experience would be different, not because of the stereotypical overprotective brother experience, although there was a bit of that, more so because I knew that having 2 older brothers means you grow up faster. It means you are inherently exposed to the tigueraje before your first period. I knew that my family's intention was to keep me safe, but perhaps they only succeeded at keeping me a prisoner. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Paola. So on deck, we have Nico Diaz, but right now, let's give it up for Rosalind Damiana.
Buena. So, yo voy a poner un screen share rapidito. It's just so I can feel comfortable with my grandma, because this one is about her. I don't know. I don't think I can share it now. Let's see. Ahora no. Si no, yo déjame ver si yo puedo ponerlo aquí. A mí coge mucho tiempo.
Let me see. This is my first time like hosting
It's
Zoom.
okay.
Sorry, so yo no sé cómo.
Yo la pongo aquí para que ustedes vean. So this
Gracias.
one is called, I don't know if you see it. Oh my gosh. It's because I'm moving. Okay. I'm going to show it on my page if you see it. But it's basically called the Mecedoras Blue. I had a very interesting relationship with my grandma. She died right before COVID hit. So I'm thankful that I actually got to take care of her in her deathbed. And I'm finally able to speak about that. So it's called the Mecedoras Blue. I'm her first granddaughter. She's the only abuela that I know. I met her on her mecedora. She ignored me. I met her on her mecedora. She ignored me. I met her on her mecedora y así crecí. My future always rocked back and forth like her mecedora did. I did not know what to be or if I wanted degrees. I really like boys. My abuela would know, but she acted like she ignored me, and I knew that already. She already knew that I kissed a boy or two or six in el patio, which her mecedora would be. She always gave me a look of judgment, beat my ass a few times, never gave me any indication that she liked me. But on her deathbed, she told me stories, how she would watch me. In her rocking chair, she was watching me. She was letting me evolve. She knew I was her replication. She is my blueprint. I'm her reincarnation. Now, the second part is like me venting to her. So it goes, you left me and I didn't know what else to do. You left so quickly, abuela. My broken heart, my soul felt so blue. It broke my heart, it broke my soul. I take things easy, I take things slow. One day at a time, 1 hour at a time. Your death was sad, you didn't deserve that. You were so nice, mi prieta bella, mi bienva bella. You helped everyone, but no one helped you. Your child died, your husband hit you, your best friend left you. La Romana saved you. You lost connection with what was real. You were lost in your own world that you had created to escape the hitting, the yelling, the lying. It worked so well, you had me fooled. Rocking your mess in your mecedora. I remember you, and I call this poem The Mecedoras Blue. Happy birthday to my fellow Aries. My miss you, Boo. And she was my mom and my dad's mom because she had taken my mom in when my mom was in a teen's mom. So I wanted to share that. And I wanted to share the picture because it was a cute picture, but I'll share it because I'm going to put a book out about her.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rosalind. On deck, we have Patricia Figueroa. Right now, let's give it up for Nico Diaz.
Awesome. Thank you, Amanda. Really appreciate you leading this space. I think everybody can attest to just like how filled their cups are being from today's time together. Always good when we link up, such positive vibes and a lot of healing. So really appreciate each and every one of you. And so I'm going to perform a piece I performed earlier this week with BX Writers. They had a poetry corner open mic with Tag Up Studios. If you aren't following BX Writers on Instagram, I highly recommend it. Got some dope opportunities and just they're plugged into Uptown. So I performed this piece there for the first time, and it was written about where I'm from, an ode to my hometown. So without further ado, oh, Uptown. Oh, Uptown, how do I love thee? Let me count all the ways. I love thee and thy hoods, Bronx, Harlem, the Heights, a triumph of realness in sounds, smells, and sights. Oh, how thou art misjudged, yet you do amaze, for beating all the odds, doing so with grace. I love thee for thy slang, dead ass, mad, no cap, brick city, son, yo, I'm OD tight. My guy, say it with thy chest, fuck out my face. I love thee for thy vibes, teteos y coros, bright flashing lights, milky clouds of hookah smoke, dembo booming, perreo, true tesoros. Here we honor our cultura, our kinfolk. Our love is lit. Our love cannot be deterred. So without further ado, can I get a year?
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, that was written as a sonnet, and it's that was hard as fuck to write, but it was a good challenge, and yeah, so that was that.
Thank you so much, Nico. On deck, we have Max Garcia. Right now, let's give it up for Patricia Figueroa.
Hello again. Okay, so this one is called This Too. This too shall be simplest memories. Soft skies swing over me. This too shall escape thee. Dice que nobody, nadie has ever embraced the other side. Due to broken lies, nadie se muere de desamor. Caused by those who lie gazing straight at your eyes. Juan Gabriel taught me, me enseñó to jump off the cliff. Loosen the cages of the past. Ya no te amo más. Whispers a mi oído. Amor, se acabó el dolor. Pain dissipates with every exhale, with every smile. Embrace, so they say. Love if you may, and if love fails, levántate, don't dismay. We often write of the somber. There's something about that hollow place. Convincing pens to move at pace, but what about when we're feeling well? When life is not a living hell? Of course, you have your wants and needs, an oasis like a summer's breeze, pensando, wow, I can finally breathe. In those moments, let your pens do the dance. Write about the short-lived trance, for mountains form, but mountains fall. And at the end, I love to remember it all. This too. Thank you.
Ashe, thank you so much, Patricia. So on deck, we have Gina Goico. Right now, let's give it up for Max Garcia.
So guys, so this is like the song off my show that I use to like introduce my characters. So just get right into it. It's been a minute, but that's over now. On Jigga, tell them niggas what about to run this down. There's a golden child all around, Liverpool, messed up. I'll stop making put their hands up, because I am sicker than your average, bro. While I'm on this mic with this East Coast flow, big ups to the legend that came above. I'm about to take it over. Who's that? So, yo, it's me. Who you be? I'm the future man that's called to be. I'm stepping in these red bottom Jordan that she got from me. They pushing my abilities. I can't do no because nigga on the track, you already know I leave them breathless. I'm a part-time goat with a chip on my shoulders. A coming in the king of the uptown, so even weekend, and he's like a copy crossover straight flat, and they were even ducking for cover. I could have been no job, but this motherfucker got my name in my mouth. Y'all gonna never recover, stop playing with me. But someone like mine on me. If all matter of fact, I don't even know why I even bother, let me bring it back. It's always cloudy, never rainy. The sun is shining, never shady. Are you good? Nigga, maybe. Just trying out some new sayings. Ladies' choice like Sadie. I might name you Chloe Bailey. I'll tell the Lord have mercy on the daily. Living luxury, good like Mercedes. I'm never running back on some AP. I've been at it all day on some AD. They really thought some things was gonna change me. Come on, Bill, man, I ain't no baby. Know that I might be king of the IGs, king of New York, and the king of the couches. Staking my clean, got the dirt on my shoulder. I'm staging the cool when I pull up his over. You know what time it is, motherfucker. Prime time ball on the well, the mother got to lean back, you know the bronze never ever stutter. Uptown shit straight, but like a I'm a motherfucking savage, Mr. Bombastic, call me fantastic, murder by 30 minutes, I'm not no classy flow. Don't you know? I had to ship a woman, I'm fucking cloud, cause the on the flow, got the bras on the floor, one side of Van Gogh, when I break down the door like that. Got some more energy, I'm a pro, I'm a king, watch the code. I'm too fucking cold. This is my introduction. Solo wise gonna get this bustin'. Close your eyes where you could trust me. Stay your right, girl, stop your fussing. Shit hit diff like summer loving on some mojo and in public on some flows be running. Looks for good on man, we stunning. We talk big game, we always stunting. Follow through, we never fronting. Uptown blow, we not just bluffing. Niggas swore that I was bugging. Look at, kid, it's something done got all the ladies blushing. Different level, go hunting. Niggas swore that I was bugging. But I say, yo, like I'm Korean, but I'm young but undefeated, making moves. I know y'all see it on the low, them niggas heating. In my face, them niggas cheesing. Don't got time for that. Y'all beat it on my shit, cause time is fleeting. Y'all niggas really be depleting. Energy like it's in season, but myself not conceding. You know, although, man, I could see it. So, man, hold we in agreement. Uptown flow, man, y'all gonna love it. Man, oh, man, just trust me. Them niggas swore that I was bugging. And I just smiled. Thank you.
Thank you, Max. Snap, snap, snap. On deck, we have Edmin Martinez. Right now, let's give it up for Gina Goico.
Thank you. So quickly, this one, I decided to do like a short one. It's a little bit to honor the unfortunate long ass fight for reproductive rights in the Dominican Republic, and also just all of the violence, generational violence that a lot of you throughout your poems were mentioning today, unfortunately, a reality to a lot of people in our country. So this one is called Oración de Cuna para una persona feminizada dominicana. It will be in Spanish. Dios te libre, mi hija, de ser feminizada. Dios y los santos te protejan de los hombres del Estado y de todos aquellos que se quedan callados. Dios te libre, mi hija, de ser mujer, de ser borrado en estadísticas, que solo te lloren cuando gritan tu nombre en protestas. Dios te libre, mi hija, de ser feminizada. No importa si eres no binaria, el sistema te lee, te juzga y te mata. Dios te libre, mi hija, ser femicida. Pues yo, por justicia divina, mataré con el poder de millones de mujeres, de cuerpos feminizados, que tú, maldito condenado, arrancaste el firmamento. Dios te libre, hijo de la gran puta, de ser femicida. Que mi furia y de las miles de personas feminizadas, aliadas, caiga como justicia sobre tu cuerpo. Dios nos libre de repetir los ciclos, que esto se acabe pronto y la lucha llegue a un fin. Amén, mamagüevos. Gracias.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Gina. Thank you. On deck, we have Jennifer Mesquita. Right now, let's give it up for Edmin Martinez.
Good evening once again, y'all. I'm gonna just keep reading another excerpt from my essay, When I Was Brave in Palabritas. And it was like this. What happened the first month at that job was a sign of things to come and should have warned me. It was a typical Monday morning with a heavy calendar. Sometimes I had 15 to 20 cases in one day. The court was full of frustrated clients that needed my attention, and some waited for me in the holding cell. I walked down the musty basement jail, sat down on a torn chocolate leather couch, and waited my turn. When the guard called, "Next," I leapt up and walked into the wannabe foyer. Looking through the paint-chipped iron bars, I greeted the guard, showed him my badge, and told him who I needed to speak to. He called out my client's name, who acknowledged he was there. The electronic bars in his cell clinked loudly as they opened to let him out. I made my way further inside. The crowd of inmates erupted in laughter as I passed them. One guy teased my client, "Yo, that's your lawyer?" I was already annoyed, but put on a poker face and kept it moving. The urine-filled air hit my nostrils as I passed the only bathroom downstairs. I tried not to gag and took my place in the makeshift interview room, sat near an old wooden desk, and plopped my plea forms on top. My client sat across from me in a plastic navy blue chair, facing the brick wall behind me. He blocked the only exit. I got to work. I took each form from the desk and placed it on my lap as I asked him questions. Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? Are you under the influence of any drug that would impair the ability to make the decision to plead guilty today? In the middle of the interview, I heard heavy breathing. Something's not right. I looked up from the pile of papers to his big frame. Is this man still hyperventilating? Please take a deep breath. You don't have to take this offer. Remember, you have the right to a trial, okay? I was clueless, but he knew exactly what he was doing. He looked into my eyes with a crooked smile and pointed at the bulge on his crotch with a handcuffed hand. It's been so long, he said, unaffected, as I almost fell over in my chair. I finished the interview, straightened the paper clips, the forms and got up, walked past him and went back to court. I took the elevator up, sweat beads dripping down my back. When I took this job almost 6 years ago, I had no idea I'd have to turn stone cold on a daily basis or make all these concessions just to get work done. I had to wear clothes that were less form-fitting, be less friendly so that I wouldn't be perceived as weak. It was incessant, but things didn't get better. One day I broke my own rules. I dared to wear a form-fitting plum pantsuit to court. I felt powerful, even confident in it. I liked how it skimmed my thighs and accentuated my waist. ¿Pa qué fue eso? Because halfway through the morning calendar, my colleague caught a man in the back of the courtroom recording my butt on his phone. A sheriff's officer ran after him, took the phone and deleted the videos. It could have been worse. I set myself up for that one. That was all me.
Thank you so much, Edmin. So on deck, we have Nailea Minaya. Right now, let's give it up for Jennifer Mesquita.
That shit was exciting. Untitled. To the lover who was never truly a lover, just a rotting corpse, a pile of hollowed out bones looking for a place to lay wounds of war and unspoken desires. You made a coffin out of my body and buried yourself in my hips. You slipped in through my teeth, not knowing that I have swallowed men whole, not knowing that I carved out the depths of myself to make room for you. I chose you because only a dead man would want to sleep in an empty, wet hole, dear lover. I am sorry if I never told you that I've been a graveyard longer than I've been a woman. So rest easy now. You can lay your death inside of me. I promise that your grave will have a name, that the soil of my body will absorb the nutrients from your flesh and sprout wildflowers between my legs. I promise that I will take the emptiness I birthed after 4 years of never making love, and I will carve it into your headstone. Poem.
Thank you, Jennifer. On deck, we have Giselle Pascal. Right now, let's give it up for Nailea Minaya.
Wow, that last line. Oof, fire, drops the mic. Thank you so much for that, Jennifer. I just want to say thank you to Amanda Ashley Villanueva for stepping into her light. It was in her workshop that I created this piece inspired by Elizabeth Acevedo's Rat Ode. This is called Ode to the Mosquito. Survival of the mosquito, feasting on blood to survive, yet constantly fighting to save its own life. Blood-sucking vampires, I kill them on sight. They don't put up a fight. They just fly quick enough and bite you when the time is right. This insect that survives off of the liveliness of others. When you have a sweet scented perfume, or if you did not wash your hands after cutting or eating fruit, they sense the sweetness. Can I identify as a mosquito? I hate to admit it, but that is a yes. I am attracted to the sweetness in others. I feed off of it for my own survival. At times, my authenticity and resilience make others itch. That bitch, how can she be so strong and look so happy after that? What was supposed to break me, I survived. In reality, it helped me thrive. And so this is why, like a mosquito, I am attracted to sweetness, because that sugar saved my soul. It warmed up my senses, because even when the world feels cold, there is always a delicacy prepared, or a soul with a listening ear, or a smile so sweet. This makes my heart beat. I am reminded of my purpose, that is to feast on what is sweet, like a mosquito. Thank you, mosquito, for being yourself, even though you make others itch. Thank you, mosquito, for being quick with the wings before anyone can swat you away. The best example I've had on how to not just survive, but thrive. Fly, mosquito, fly. Thank you.
Yes, fly mosquito fly. I feel like I'm gonna see mosquitoes differently now, but like not really, but a little really. Thank you, Nailea. Uh, on deck, we have Karencita. But right now, let's give it up for Giselle Pascal.
Hi guys. This simple writing I call is called No Soy María. María Moñitos me llamaban cuando a la escuela yo llegaba con un desfile de moños y entraba y en la clase me sentaba, pero nunca me preguntaba por qué nombraban este cabello negrista con el cual yo me identificaba. Y al pesar de tener un afro natural, mi hermoso pelo batallaba. Batallaba con una sociedad que aportaba una segregación inesperada. Instrucciones para cabello bonito. Separar el cabello por el medio, separarlo otra vez y repetir 2, 3, 4, 5 y hasta 6 veces. Asegurar y atar con una goma. ¿Cuál es la necesidad de domar mi cabello? Yo me preguntaba. ¿Cuántas reglas desde niña pequeña se me aplicaba? Tantos consejos indeseados que todos escuchamos. Tienes un pajón, peínate ese cabello que pareces una loca. Llegó el momento en cual sin mi permiso me introducieron a un compañero. Just for me. A él tocar mi cabello, mis raíces gritaban, la quemadura de mi cuero cabelludo no más aguantaba. ¿Qué hice yo para merecer esta tortura? Yo me preguntaba. Y la respuesta que me daban, bueno, el que quiere cabello bonito aguanta jalones. No le quedaba más a mi cabello que torcer y obedecer. La segregación, denegración, tortura y quemaduras de reglas impuestas a una niña sin idea. María Moñitos me llamaban, just for me, me atormentaba.
Giselle, thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you. On deck, we have Yariana Torres. Right now, let's give it up for Karencita Suarez.
Thank you guys. You guys are all so amazing. Thank you again. This piece is called God, My Mother. A sip of her water, a refreshing drink of freedom, sin redeemer. He who denies his life giver. The free woman that could, the free woman I said, but we indulge in arrogance and blind ourselves instead, and let our sinful natures get us way over our heads, looking for a way up, for a way out in every wrong direction. For if we'd really look up and had truthful intention, we'd see doors open before us from the east to every side. We'd feel happiness at sunrise. We'd smile with our eyes instead of cry. See, people think heaven is when we die. What if in actuality is where we begin? What if we're walking dead and heaven is where life is? What if the answer to all you ever had to ask about this world is priceless? Indeed, what if to us mortals the water of life is free? And every breath you ever breathed on this earth was make-believe? What if what we think life is has only been a crisis? Never made any sense anyway, did it? No guarantee of another day of your existence in it. I know my flesh belongs to the dirt, but what happens to my spirit? It's the only thing that sets us apart. Can't you feel it? It doesn't have a heartbeat, but even that stops in this body. It can perish in a minute. They tell us that we're sinners, but how can we be forgiven? And where do we commit this grateful sin that we have to pay with death? They say we're all born with it. They say the snake tempted Eve and she tempted Adam, so we were expelled from Eden. What if we awake tomorrow and everything you knew was just a dream and pain receded? If you were offered eternal life, would you accept it and receive it? And if all along this were the matrix, would you wake up and believe it? Thank you.
Thank you, Karencita. So on deck, we have Glorelys Urbano. Right now, let's give it up for Yariana Torres.
Thank you, Amanda. First of all, you guys are so good. I'm so honored to be here, really. I just want to start by saying, yo soy que un poeta, porque tú sabes, se me mete la todo el cabeza, and I be forgetting to write, or not forgetting, but that writer's block, it be hitting, it go hard. And I haven't written since the summertime. And the other day, like I felt so heavy in my heart, and I was like, you know what? I think it's time to finally pick up the pen again, or pick up the keyboard, because ya ni siquiera lápiz lo uso, pero let's go. Sometimes when the sky is so dark and the moon is ripe like a mango, I drive home. And on my drive home, I think about driving off into the humming night without a single ramification, without running out of gas, without paying tolls, without anyone shedding the hair off their head, worrying about me. On nights like this, when the sky is dark and the moon is bright as a bowl of white rice, I dream of driving away and into the last exit before the bridge. Tarrytown, Sleepy Hollow. It sounds like a lovely place, but I won't stop there. I trace the skeleton of the highway and drive as the town names start getting funnier and funnier until I find just the right town and I'd settle down. Stop my car and hope my life will lead to be as whimsical as a town I've put a pin on in my map and labeled home. On nights like this, where the sky is so dark and the moon is as full as Papi's belly after Sunday brunch, I feel like I'm a small speck on this trotting earth, spinning and twirling and leaping and galloping, but never causing a ruckus, only playing my part, never doing too much, never doing too little, always doing just enough without making a difference. And yet, on nights like this, when the sky is so dark and the moon is as white as the heart of a cassava pulled out of mama's backyard, I dream of making a difference, of writing away the world's problems, of cooking into the arms of a beloved, of dancing my way into the soul of the earth and telling it everything is going to be okay, telling it we'll take care of it the way it had taken care of us as soon as we were old enough, because it has given us nights like this, when the sky is so dark and the moon is as loud as the music leaking from my headphones, when my thumbs move and dance and swirl over the QWERTY keyboard of my heart and soul, as my thumbs become a mouth for my spirit and my tongue is swollenly stuck to the roof of my mouth, tasting its own scent of loneliness, wishing that on nights like this, when the moon is so full and the sky is as dark as a bottle of navy blue nail polish, I could just drive and drive and drive and make a difference and sing and twirl and never come home, but rather build one everywhere I go with the palms of my hand and the toes of my feet, be my own home. But I'm not driving. Mommy is. And until I can do this on my own, I can't dream of tomorrow, but rather focus on today. Thank you.
Thank you, Yariana. Thank you. Whew. And to wrap up tonight, let's give it up for Glorelys Urbano.
Thank you guys again. Okay, so this one is a little short. I will probably read it in both languages. I'm gonna start with the English version because even though so my first language, as you guys know, is Spanish. I came to the United States only 4 years ago, so I'm still catching up. But I am not able to curse in Spanish at all. I was not raised like that. If my mom hears me, she's gonna, so I'm not able to curse, not even in poetry. But I am in English though, so I did my thing. And I curse a little bit because sometimes, it's okay to, let it out. So I am going to read this poem about, it's titled, I Cheated. I didn't cheat though, guys. Okay. I've already written 3 letters to my karma, 2 of them in poetic prose to see if I can manipulate that bitch. 30 business days and I still deal with your letters of agony that overshadow my love. I have tried to find myself and I still have the same questions that you asked me the day that you were screaming why. And I drown in your tears, hurt by your pain, guilty of your sorrows, with no way to apologize to the fate and understand once and for all that I have hurt you out of fear that you will hurt me first. Self-sabotage of your love and oblivious to my destiny. I did not care about hurting you, I admitted. I was much more scared of hurting myself. And for the first time in centuries, out of all the times that our souls have met, I loved you with a hate of nakedness, pure, genuine, but putting you second, and giving me priority. And although I admit that I still cried to my destiny, you broke me so much that it was necessary to harm you to be able to fix me. Life is illogical, but love, I have already made peace with karma. And although I am still waiting for her letter in return, I know that she fears the fuck out of me because she saw you hurt me on a Tuesday and then saw me make you cry out agonistically the day after. And without a doubt, She knows not to hurt me. It will not be my first time making a bitch cry. That's the English part. Let me read it in Spanish real quick. Ya le escribo 3 cartas al karma en prosas poéticas para ver si logro manipular a la maldita. 30 días laborales y aún lidio con tus letras de agonía que opacaban mi querer. Me he intentado encontrar y aún tengo las mismas preguntas que me hiciste el día que a gritos me rogabas por qué es. Y me ahogué en tus lágrimas, dolida por tu dolor, culpable a tus penas, sin manera de disculparme con el destino y que entienda de una vez por todas que te he herido por miedo a que me hieras primero. Autosabotaje a tu querer y ajena a mi destino. No me importó herirte, lo admito. Me importó mucho más herirme a mí. Y por primera vez en siglos, de todas las veces que nuestras almas se han encontrado, te amé con un auge de desnudez. Puro, genuino, pero poniéndote después, poniéndote de segundo y dándome prioridad. Y aunque admito que aún le lloro al destino, me rompiste tanto que hacía falta dañarte para poder arreglarme a mí. Y lógica es la vida, pero amor, ya hice las paces con el karma. Y aunque a leguas espero su carta de vuelta, sé que me teme, porque te vio herirme un martes y verme hacerte llorar agonizante el día después. Y sin duda, sabe que le puedo a la maldita. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Morelys. Thank you to everyone tonight. I just want to take a moment to say tonight was beautiful. Hosting these is always a lot of fun. So thank you so much to Dominican Writers for inviting me to host, to MC tonight. Thank you to Glorelys Mora, the legendary comedian, for featuring tonight, for coming through, for making us laugh. And lastly, thank you to all of you for sharing your work, for being vulnerable, for making us laugh, cry, de todo. Like, I feel like tonight it was so diverse, and that's beautiful. It was diverse in age, it was diverse in gender. So I'm just like, I'm hyped. And it was bilingual, right? Because this was a bilingual open mic. So thank you. And lastly, thank you to everybody on YouTube who's watching. We really appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time tonight to join us. I wanted to end with something that someone said earlier. They said, that tonight we're getting a cup filled, and that's really how it feels. So we're going into the weekend like, ready to enjoy the weekend, right? To work, to do what we have to do, but with our cup full. So thank you to y'all. Bye, everyone.